Or should they speak in public? Or should they wear this? Or, you see, we start arguing. And it's rarely on what is critical. Jesus said, what are you doing arguing with those guys? I don't want my faith shaped by what is not critical. Occasionally, the teachings of Christ may conflict with worldview, and people want to have some answers. That's great. But we must be careful to always get to issues of truth. Focus on truth. We don't want to deal with just those things. Let's find out what truth is. Good example for this is in 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Listen to this great passage. For Jews demand signs. You see, Jews wanted signs. So they want these signs. So, and we can be a little bit Jewish even today. Why don't we have more signs today? Where are the miracles of today? And I can put on that preacher voice. Get all kind of quivery. Signs for today. Doesn't that sound good? I can do that. You see, get all focused on signs. Jews look for signs. That's what distracted them. Might not be what distracts you. Jesus says, why are you arguing with them? He goes on to say, Greeks. I lost my place there. Thank you. Jews demand signs and Greeks seek wisdom. So now we want to know more. We want to try to figure out what's going on. But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews, and folly, foolishness to Gentiles. Because it's neither this nor that. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greek, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. You see, he pushes it right back to who Jesus is. It's not about signs. It's not about wisdom. Signs are for today. Wisdom is for today. There's no question there. I'm not questioning that at all. But the issue is neither signs nor wisdom, nor stumbling block, nor folly. The issue today is who Jesus is. And we have to come to a conclusion there. One group wants one and somebody wants something else. Let's stick to what's critical. Why are you arguing with them? I want the essentials to create the pressure points in my life that adjust the shape of this vessel. Number 2, verse 19 says, O faithless generation, how long am I to be with you? How long am I to bear with you? Bring him to me. Now, next Sunday, I'm going to be speaking about the same kind of an issue, really, but dealing with another passage. It's found in Matthew 15, and I'm going to talk about, just ask the question, is Jesus mean? Because this sounds kind of mean, doesn't it? It doesn't sound real friendly and compassionate. Oh, faithless generation, how long am I going to hang out with you guys? Oh, sounds like my dad. I don't think he was being mean at all. Let's think about this, though. First of all, I don't know who he was talking to. Was he talking to the dad of this child? Was he talking to his disciples? Was he talking to the scribes? You see, they were all there. I don't know who he was talking to. I wasn't there to see where his eyes are and who he was pointing at. I don't know. Rather than get distracted by all of that, I think we do need to be thinking about this issue of faithlessness, because that does trouble me. Oh, faithless generation. Not oh, faithless person. Not oh, faithless family. Not even oh, faithless disciples. He said, oh, faithless generation. Now, generation means, this word in this particular location means kind or sort of person. You're a faithless sort of people. The situation, there is faithlessness there. There is a stage of faithlessness. Maybe none of these really matter. I don't know. The issue for me is preserving faith in a faithless state. There are always going to be faithless people around us, people who just don't believe in this, and I'm okay with that. I hang out with a lot of people who are, they're not believers, and I'm really okay with that. Because I look at it and I say, you know what? It's not what's shaping my faith. My faith is shaped by something else. I feel this pressure of this amazing person that I've discovered in my life, and not in a negative way, but I can sense who he is and his presence in my life, and it shapes me. And it makes me think certain ways. Bottom line is this. Listen to what Jesus said. Bring him to me. Now, we can get really condemning, and this is why I don't think Jesus is being mean at all here. He didn't. If he had been being mean, then he would have said, "Oh, faithless generation, get out of my sight. Bring me a whole group of people who believe. That's what I want. You guys, I don't even like you anymore." He didn't say that. He made a comment about faithlessness and a state of faithlessness in the crowd that was there, in the nation in which he was living. And he was saying there is faithlessness here, and I have a shelf life here, and soon I have to leave. But listen to this. This is beautiful. Instead of just dismissing everybody, he looked at this family and he said, "Bring the boy here." Isn't this great? He wasn't being mean. He was making a statement about the condition of people's lives, but ultimately, Jesus wasn't dismissing anybody. He was looking at it and he was saying, "Bring the boy to me." Because it's not about your faith or his faith, it's about who he is. And he is true to himself. He is faithful to himself. He is powerful within himself. It is not about you or me. It is not about your ability or inability, capacity or incapacity. It is about who Christ is. I want that to shape my faith. That's what I want. Because when he looks at what about our state, and this man is going to cry out, "Help my unbelief." Jesus, if he was going to be mean or just a theologian or just even the typical preacher, he would have looked at him and said, "Yeah, your unbelief. Yeah. You need to buy my DVDs. Yeah. You didn't attend last year's conference, did you?" He didn't say any of that. True to himself, he said, "Bring the boy here." Hear that? What an amazing thing. Oh, man, we get all condescending. Boy, my theological position is more powerful than yours. Wow. My spiritual gifts, I've got 6 of them. Awesome, huh? That's not who he is. Bring the boy here. No condescension. Love, compassion, faithfulness, love, hope, faith incarnate. And I want that shaping my faith. Let's go on. Number 3. How long has this been happening? I like this because Jesus interviews the guy. I like that. You see, if this was just what is this show on television these days? It's pretty popular out here, at least. Something about this Chris somebody angel mind freak or some kind of magical show. Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. If Jesus had been that, then it would have been about what's it and healing. Oh, give me money. It wasn't that at all. Jesus, you see, he came, he wanted to get into this family's life. See, this isn't just some impersonal something that if we can kind of trigger something really cool, then we get good stuff. And that's how faith is sometimes projected. That if you get it just right, you say it just right, and you believe just hard enough, and you fast just long enough, and you just the veins stick out just right, then somehow you're going to get something. Jesus is a very personal God who looks at you and just asks the question, how long has this been going on? We sometimes answer in masks. Oh, all right. It's all okay. Yeah. It's been pretty bad, but we're having faith. We're struggling with our faith, but we're having faith. Jesus just wants to know what's going on. We need to stop playing some games. You know, we play a lot of games. We pretend that we're okay. We project that we're okay. We say we're okay if somebody asks us. But in reality, we're struggling in areas. We're struggling with our faith. Listen, Jesus wants to just talk to you. We're going to talk about prayer here in just a few minutes, and He just wants to talk. And I believe that there is this personal quality. This is the beauty of Christianity. It's not an impersonal anything that's out there. If we believe that the Jesus-centered Christianity that the New Testament projects, then we have to be convinced that He will have an interview with us every day if we'll sit down at the table and stop thinking long enough. Just talk to Him. I want my faith shaped that way. He interviewed him. We must take stock of the issue. How bad is this? Don't pretend it's not an issue. Now, I'm sometimes unnerved by awful social issues, and sometimes those things become the things that just weigh me down. And if I'm not careful, the weight of them, the grandeur of the problem, it can weigh on me to a point where that starts shaping my faith instead of who Christ is. I want my faith shaped not by their presence. I want my faith shaped by Jesus asking me. You see, I want Jesus standing behind me, asking me the questions of life. I want Him sitting behind me when I'm at my desk, asking me, Joel, what are you doing? I want my faith shaped by the presence of who He is and how much He cares for me, because He is interested in my life, and He's interested in my class schedule, and He's interested in the board meeting that I've got to go to. I believe that when I talk to Him that way, there is a whole different level of faith-shaped living that I can have. I was riding on my bike in the town yesterday, and as I was riding in, could have been the day before now, I'm riding along and I'm thinking about stuff I got to get done, and immediately I just kind of kicked into this conversation kind of mode. I said, I don't remember everything I was saying, but it was like, Jesus, I want to be a person of integrity today. Help me to be a person of integrity. Help me to drive with integrity. Help me to be careful of these families. I'm looking around, all these families got their little kids on their bike. They're just trying to get them to school. And I'm thinking, God, help me to be careful today. Help me not to do something foolish and bump into one of these families and hurt some kid. God, help me to be a person that respects the laws here. God, help me know what to do and how to respond and where to go. And there's some things I've got to buy today. I don't know where to go. I've got to have a good deal. God, help me. You say, you really do that? You know, just as sure as Jesus interviewed this guy, I believe that I can turn around and say, okay, Father, this is where I am. Now, I'm not praying for parking places, and I'm not praying for, help me get around the police. And I'm just, God, I want to talk to you today.